persuade them that it is in their best interest to join and remain in the union. This is so because worker exploitation still continues. Our challenge, therefore, again, is that we have to convince members, or convince workers that there is still a need for solidarity. The challenge of servicing our members and retaining them is a very important one again. Our strength lies in the number and skills of our members that we are able to attract into the union. The diverse and complexity of the needs of our individual members are usually summarized in the aims and objectives of our Constitution. The Union Assembly should therefore the center where members will exercise the influence to the conditions in which they find themselves at workplaces. Servicing of our members should therefore be beyond reproach, since through effective servicing of our members, it will create a sense of relevance and usefulness to belong to a trade union. For this process and to be effective, it calls for disseminations of relevant information that will help us in serving our members effectively and efficiently. For the union to grow, the members should be able to realize their objectives. Positive results of the collective bargaining process in search of improvement of both working and living conditions will invite more members, more workers to join the union. Dear colleagues, health and safety is another issue. Every year, many mine and energy workers lose their lives and limbs as a result of accidents, many of them fatal, at their workplaces. Many comrades went to work as normal, but never returned home alive. At this juncture, I will single out the recent fatal accident at Rospina Mine, where our comrades Kachire and Rufino became victims of a huge log falls in the mine. They went into the unfortunate path of factory and mine accidents in which other fellow workers perished if they were lucky to be disabled. I would like you comrades to stand up and observe a minute of silence for those comrades, not only those at Rospina, but those who have lost their lives in mines and other injuries that could have been prevented in Namibia, and also recently those colleagues of ours that also fell victims in mine accidents in neighboring countries, in SADC countries. I thank you. You may be seated. Dear colleagues, this never-ending challenge is that The occupational health and safety of our members and the environment requires constant vigilance and decisiveness. We, the workers from all corners, are the victims of these incidents. The formulation of sound safety agreements, policy and procedures on this subject will remain theories if practical implementation thereof is lacking. At its annual General Assembly, the International Labour Organization, the ILO, adopted Convention number 176 concerning safety, health in the mines. Much efforts and work went into action in the process of formulation and subsequent adoption of this important convention. It is a challenge to us, in partnership with our colleagues in government, to make sure that this convention is ratified by our parliament. The importance about this convention lies that it laid down tripartitely the roles of workers, employers, and government. It is also my humble request to comrade peers in the midst of labor to see to it that this ILO Convention number 176 is taken to Parliament, debated, and ratified. It is the change of attitude of all parties with regard to unsafe acts and conditions, and taking safe acts serious that will help us. But we should also remember, while pointing blaming fingers to someone else, we must not forget that we have the right to refuse to do danger work. Dear comrades, associated with this subject is also the HIV/AIDS. Dear colleagues, the theme for this Congress is Forward with Economic Empowerment and the Prevention of HIV/AIDS. This deadly disease is hunting us. This HIV pandemic is clearly a serious threat to our survival, both as workers and as a nation, and its spread is terribly increasing. It has a devastating effect on production, productivity, and its killing effect is robbing Namibia the economically needed skill. It has reduced us to a walking skeleton at workplaces. It is very sad to see your colleague, your comrade, with whom we have shared the workplace for many years, to see him losing his health and eventually separating from that employer and go home to die. That is sad. We are witnessing the increasing closure of household when both father and mother have died, leaving behind an increased number of orphans if they are lucky to survive the epidemic. The current statistics indicate that the infection rate in Namibia is increasing, and the dying figure is also quickly and shockingly increasing. If these statistics we are hearing now and then are correct, then today is bleak, but tomorrow we have a disaster future. The situation is calling for an urgent action to arrest the spread of this disease and join hands with others to go further than conducting awareness campaign in order to devise strategies and ways of how to contain the further infection, to protect and support the infected, and also to take care of the orphans. This Congress will fail in its duty if it did not address and come up with workable solutions on this subject. I will put to you, comrades, the proposal for the establishment of a national HIV/AIDS fund. This fund, given its proper management, should be able to take care for the orphans who are left behind their parents as a result of AIDS pandemic. These kids are normally left in the care of their relatives. And it's my belief that they alone, or the state for that matter, will not do the caring and counseling job as such. Hence, a teamwork approach is needed. We have seen, and it's a fact, that most workers in Namibia, and for that matter in SADC regions, particularly black workers, they were subjected to the compound system, where as male workers, lived for many years isolated from their family. These racist employers never thought of building houses for all the workers. To them, the workers were the whites. It should be therefore that these employers, companies, and we have many of them here in Namibia, they should be made to pay. They should be made to contribute to that fund, because it is through their actions that a number of workers are being infected now by these diseases. And they were living away from their families. They become infected at the workplaces, leave home to their family in the villages, again spreading the diseases. I think that that's where these employers, these companies in Namibia, should make to pay for these diseases. And they should also give serious thought to supply the AIDS drugs to these employees. Comrades, having said that, the mining and energy sectors have their ups and downs. Higher prospects of the futures lie in many mining companies that are coming up. The Kutu gas fields, the Scorpions, and many others. However, comrades, our scope of operating, that's mining and energy sectors, is by large a small industry. International trades through globalization calls for mergers of like-minded partners. We did that when we merged with energy. However, serious debate should therefore be focused on further merge with other partners, like in construction, in communications, and many others. I will leave to you in your hands, comrades, to debate these issues, not to destroy our sister unions, but to unify our strength. Another issue, comrades, is the outsourcing stroke